Good morning and welcome in to the Canadian Crown, the U15 Elite Tournament, back in action once again. Ian Wilson with the call on behalf of the wonderful broadcast crew of Trickshot, as always, bringing you all the best of the Canadian Crown live to you all weekend long. This is the Dale Fisher Arena here at the GFL Twin Rinks in beautiful Devon, Alberta, the home of NAX and the home of the Canadian Crown. We've got the LA Junior Kings going up against Upper Canada College here in our opening game. We were supposed to have a game prior to this, but unfortunately some flight delays and issues caused the postponement of that game. It'll now be tomorrow night at 7:30 over on Zender Rink. So all the other games here today at Dale Fisher going on as per normal. The Illinois game that was supposed to happen before this will be tomorrow. As the Kings backhanded across, poked away from the center slot area at the line. Try and play it down low as that'll work its way around behind the cage out the near side. UCC working their way ahead, right wing side, dropped it off. Here's a wrister, goes off of the back window, and it'll come back around near side. Battle works its way in behind the cage out the far side. Wraparound attempt, tried the jam play on Zavaleta, no good. Kings play it ahead to Hall, left wing side. Hall going to work his way across the line, gets in the circle, rips one high and wide right. Comes all the way back out as Zachary Berriman will play it across left wing side and sent right back over by Deslin Grimes Jr. Berriman plays it ahead. Backhander sends it forward, left wing side in. Wrister, glove down as UCC hold on for safekeeping. As the netminder in for Upper Canada College in their opening game here will be Dax Partridge, number 20, hailing from St. Catharines, Ontario. Canadian Crown coming live to you once again from beautiful Devon, Alberta. UCC and the LA Junior Kings, one shot apiece here in the opening goings of this opening contest. Left wing chip and chase as they play it off of the boards. There was Peter Sykes as a shot into the glove for Zavaleta. As these teams looking to find their way in this tournament, the opening early goings. LA Junior Kings going to be up against it as far as the endurance is concerned for their opening contest, is a couple of players that will be serving a one-game suspension, as in their last contest prior to this tournament, things got a little bit feisty at the end of their final game. And so those players having to serve accordingly. So only one game will they be out for, and then they'll be back in full force as of the following contest. Kings round the near side they go into the corner as they try and muscle it up the far side boards. There was Eli Fabian. Following up was Thompson, stolen away. Letary turning around, tried to get the shot away, bumped down by Thompson. Here's a 3-on-1. Kings feed it right side, and they are offside. Just a stride too quick as they tried to get that to go. Good up and down action for this first period here live from Dale Fisher Rink at the GFL Twin Arenas. Of course, 3 divisions for this U15 Elite Canadian Crown. And chock full of competition as 12 teams vying for supremacy. And there are a lot of eyeballs on this tournament, not just folks tuning in from back at home. Off of the wall, they'll chip it ahead. Right wing side, following up, UCC dropping back for it. Icing waved off as they got there before the red line. Played it up the middle, given away, and over skated it there as LA was looking for a quick opportunity in between the dots. Tracking it down in the corner. Good play for Aaron Lee. Lee back to the line, right side, takes the shot through traffic. That'll whistle wide. Near side as they'll ring it around to the far corner. Taken out there as the back check gets the job done for Hudson Bick. Stop at the near side. Played in behind the cage. A backhand centering feed. Comes out to the line. Loads. Fires the wrister. Goes wide right. Backhander in front. Cleared to the far side boards. Coming in off the line. Quick shot blocked as Bick continues some defensive prowess. That puck is hooked down low. Coming around the near side. Still keeping the puck in the attacking zone here are LA. Played off of the window. Gloved at the line. Touched up first. No, they'll call it a glove hand pass. Bit of a discussion from Francesco Lettieri, as well as Mr. Tyler Spano. Again, these Kings, their first game going to be a unique challenge for them with the lessened roster. Of course, for UCC, they can look across the bench and see that, so I'm sure that's one thing they'll try and focus on, is making sure that they try and win the endurance battle. Short, strong shifts and make sure that you attack with all that you're worth. They've also got these blue chrome domes that they've got to go with their white jerseys here at this tournament. LA, of course, wearing the classic Kings purple and gold. UCC at the far line looking to chip it ahead as Spano continuing on the forecheck. Stolen away and passed back by Fabian. Cross left side, Matning into the middle for Fabian. Fabian right wing side into the right dot, trying to power around the outside. Holds in behind the cage and he'll come around the near wall. Fabian, a backhander. That's going back after it. Will be on the defensive side of things, Mr. Kian Selby. In behind the cage, looking to pick that up once again. Selby, backhander up the near side wall. And it goes ahead as Rui Asal tried to send it out of the zone. LA keep it in. Far board. Selby with the check and a good backhand effort to send that down the ice. Does it have the legs for icing? It does. As back to tag up was Zachary Matning. That'll send the Junior Kings back down to the opposite end of the rink. Shots now 4-2 in favor of the Junior Kings. Going on the other side, we had Burnaby Winter Club and Shattuck St. Mary's, the opening game of this Canadian Crown. We refresh the box score of that one, coming to a close 7-2, the final in favor of Shattuck St. Mary's. Again, 3 pools, and after the pool play at this tournament, the teams will be reshuffled into their A through C divisions. So it's not as cut and dry as one team from each pool will go from A, B, C, and D, as we've seen with the 16-team tournaments. This one with only 12 teams. There's a lot at stake here in the pool play. Rister denied, and a rebound blockered away, taken in behind the cage and out to the near side. At the line, left wing feed, looking, shooting, as that one will come back around over against the boards. Shot off of the window, and icing waved off as LA tap it around the near side. As Berriman tried to take it up the wall, gets a heavy check as it comes around in behind for Lee. Lee plays it off the end boards, back to the near side for Grimes Jr. Grimes Jr. Stretch pass for Lee, bank it off of the right side boards. Lee in after it as he'll muscle against his men, just out of the reach of Spano, who tried to kick it from skate to stick. UCC on the counterattack again, a wrister blocked. And a backhander off of the boards held in by UCC. Tried to dangle their way through. King shoves him down to the ice. Here's a 3-on-2. Kings over the right wing line. Feeds it to the middle, across left circle, back to the middle. One-timer, and I don't think it made it through. That puck took a deflection, ended up right on a silver platter in front of the goal. A heavy hammer on it. It was either a nifty save by Partridge or it hit the body in front of him. Matning to his left, hounded as they work their way over the line. Good speed, left wing, wrister. That's off of the bar, rebounds back in front, and it goes to the right boards. Here's King. Blocker save, Partridge. Near side, Kings keep it alive again. Here's a wrister through traffic off the chest of Partridge, and UCC try to clear out the rebound. They get it out of the zone, but they do not get possession. LA with it as they go across to Matning on the near side. Matning, left wing as they entered the zone. It was a delayed offside. Or no, did they blow it down? They did. Didn't quite hear the whistle, but you could hear the official very emphatic on that call. As we're down to 12:24 here in this opening period. Shots now 9-2 in favor of the LA Junior Kings. LA finding ways to increase their offensive output in the early goings of this contest. Near side, UCC tried to dangle around, poked away by the stick of Deslin Grimes Jr. Around the far side, LA gave it away on the exit feed. Near side, McCaig. McCaig to the goal, Zavaleta the save. Puck was bouncing around in the pads and play is blown down. As UCC out for the Canadian Crown, hailing from Ontario up here in the Great White North. So one of the first of multiple cross-border matchups we expect to see here at this Canadian Crown. The American team's no stranger to coming up to Devon. Grimes Jr. around to Berriman far side. Took the hit to make the play, chipped it off of the wall as McCaig tried to put it back into the zone. Sue will track it back as Partridge shot off of the far boards. Sue again, a bank pass ahead as UCC looking to work it out to the neutral zone. Grimes Jr. to Berriman and back. Grimes Jr. Pardon me, that was Herman, I should say. As Lee works it around the line, spinning around, can't get good contact on it. Here's a weak shot, gets through as Partridge able to just handle it with the pads and the paddle and then cover up for safekeeping. So the Kings going to send out Matning, Kim, Spano, King, and then also number 11, Mr. Eli Fabian. Kings short, tight rotations for this opening frame. They've still had excellent jump. As if there were ever going to be a game that you were a little short-handed personnel-wise. But rather it be this opening contest where everybody is as fresh as a daisy. Left wing corner off of the deflection. Kings looking to follow it up. They play it in behind the goal, chasing after it first. Round and behind the goal will be Peter Sykes. Sykes following up, far wing. Sykes looking, shooting, off the bar. That's going to come into the broadcast perch. Our first souvenir of the tournament. That did not take long. We'll toss that one back out onto the ice for the players so they don't have to get a fresh biscuit. We've learned from our mistakes. We actually lost a monitor on top of our camera last Canadian Crown here at Dale Fisher, and we've come prepared. We'll have to try and find a way to maybe get it out to social media at some point, but there is a Betty Crocker baking sheet that has been taped to the back of the monitor on the camera to provide us a stainless steel shield for the monitor and, of course, Kieran, our fantastic camera operator. But it's not just the camera we care about. We also care about our personnel. And then, of course, I am partially behind Kieran, so I've got 2 layers of protection. As the Canadian Crown rumbles on. Definitely a unique perch here in the corner of Dale Fisher, but provides a unique angle of the action, that's for sure. Contact on the near side is King will win it back to Matning. Far side now as Lee turns and burns up ice. Gains the red and dumps it in. Following up, first one to it will be Sloan Hall. Hall down low, gets it back in a one-time feed, but couldn't get the shot to trigger. Here's UCC attacking. Sykes drags it through. Puck will come off of the end wall. They try and backhand it around near side. Hall from near to far. Herman couldn't get that one immediately past the forecheck. And that will be iced as Lee unable to win the race. Good work by Selby to force that early dump. And that will be an icing call that brings the Junior Kings back into their own zone. St. Albert and NAX, the next game that is about to get underway over on the Zender rink. Again, Dale Fisher, the one that you're currently looking at here. And then Zender on the far side, the new addition, which then, of course, creates the aptly named GFL Twin Arenas. NAX, the host program here. As well, the Devon Extreme in the Alberta Junior Hockey League playing here. Nice move. Wrister fought off by the glove, and he gets to it with the stick to poke away the rebound. Partridge in behind the cage. As Selby now with it for UCC. Selby plays it off of the wall. Chipped ahead around the outstretched arm of Sue. They're going to wave the icing off. They'll say that hit Sue on the way by. Grimes Jr. over to Berriman. Berriman back around far side for Kim. Chasing after it is Bick. Backhands it off of the boards, and then UCC chopping around near side. Chasing after it, Bick once again. Spano, the backhander, broken up by Asal. Here's Bick. Bick, a backhander around. Spano goes down low to the far corner. Grimes Jr. lifts it off the boards. UCC looking to center. No good. Picked off by the Kings. Round the near side. UCC looking to gain the red. They'll play that one low on the ice over to Zavaleta. As Grimes Jr. plays it off of the window. In behind the defense. Onside. Good look. Left wing. Stop up. Change of pace. Wrister off the shoulders of Partridge. Far side for UCC. Snap pass up the middle as Rui Asal unable to break away cleanly. Sloan Hall broke it up. It goes back to Lee inside the Kings zone. Left side as UCC nearly got caught with too many men. Hall powering in left side. Wrister and a glove save for Partridge. As the Kings finding lots of opportunity early in this contest. But so far UCC holding them at bay. UCC just looking for the counterattack here. They'll chip it ahead as the Kings then send it right back into UCC territory. Hunter Higgins made the initial pass, then dumped into the zone by Amir Babali. Right side for Kim, chips it ahead over the red to Lee. Lee into the attacking zone, stopped up at the far circle, looking for support. He'll shield the puck and send it down low to Kim. Kim cycled it in. Little shoulder hezzy move as they then put it off of the wall. Picked off. UCC looking to break up ice. Pass ahead. Here's Sue. Long shot blocked. Went off of the skates of Matning. King puts it off of the boards as Kim looks to accelerate. Kim to his left. Poked away. Good defensive play there for Elijah Jack. Scrum on that far boards. Goes back to UCC. They'll pass it ahead in the middle. Here's Jack. Jack to the middle. Nice move out of the back end. Can he center? He does back in front, and he can't get it cleanly to Selby. Chipped off of the window and then sent off the wall, back around and behind the cage and out the near side. Matning off the end boards, reverses it to King. King uses the foot speed to get out of trouble and passes ahead. It's tipped to Fabian. Right wing for Hall. Hall to the middle, tried to feed it back through, and it goes wide of the intended target. Hall back in front and paddled away by Partridge. UCC numbers across the line. They are forced to dump it in as the Junior Kings recover in kind. Here's Grimes Jr. Grimes Jr. in over the right side blue line. Carries on his backhand down below. Tried to snap it in front. It was blocked. Defense take it away. UCC in their own end. Tried to backhand it through. Just shoveled it towards the middle as UCC take control again. As Bick played it off a skate. Here's the follow-up. Zavaleta the save, and it's knocked out of the air by Bick on a backhander. It's called a high stick as the next one was touched up by another UCC player, but a bit of hand-eye coordination on display there. You saw the initial shot, and then Hudson Bick swipes it out of the air with the backhander. That'll take things out of the attacking zone, however. As we'll see Peter Sykes out with Rui Asal. And William McCaig. Back it goes to the line, knocked forward by Trevor Earl. Here's a shot off the blocker of Zavaleta. Heavy physicality as the puck will come around the near side. Thomason has McCaig on him. Thomason still able to come away with it. Gets it to Fabian. Fabian looking to break out on the right wing side. Dropped it back in the line to a teammate. Plays it to the middle. Here's Thomason. Tried to feed it to the center. No good. He'll be wrapped up against the end wall by Hunter Higgins. Back out to the line left side through traffic. Tipped and goes wide right. Coming in off of the boards. Feed it down low at the goal line. Stutter step around the defender. Centering feed in front. Doesn't get there. Back to the far side corner. Reverses as it comes to the far wall. Fabian on the forecheck broke it up. It's played down low. Fabian going after it again. Centering pass broken up, was looking for Thomason in front. Here's a look for UCC 2-on-2. Far wing, cuts to the middle, trying to get around Matning to the goal. Zavaleta steers it aside. Played up the middle, and then Spano able to take it away from the defense, but a good recovery there on the far side by Amir Babali. Far side, UCC in. Rister, glove save, rebound, skipped over the stick as it was right there for the taking, but it goes over Jack's twig. Right wing side, powering into the attacking zone as Babali will take him around. Comes to the near side, Sue leaves a backhander as UCC continues to work. Jack in on Grimes. Jack centering feed. Here's a one-time tip, and it goes wide. That deflected off of Andre's skate, went to Sue on the far side, and he let it rip. Fortuitous bounce for UCC, but they cannot connect and ripple the twine. Played ahead to the neutral ice area. Here's a look. Sykes in, shot wide. Rebound will come up the near wall as Fabian tried to chip it forwards. It goes off of the wall again as the LA Junior Kings track back for it. Down to under 4 remaining here in this first period. As a backhander ahead for Grimes. Grimes hauled down in the neutral zone. The first penalty of this contest is forthcoming. Shots 14-8. As at the 3:39 mark, we will come away with our first power play. As the Junior Kings going to have a look with the special teams here. They've already controlled a lot of the flow of play in this opening frame, so don't need to give them much more ammunition in that regard. Off of the draw, they'll play it off of the wall to the near side boards. To the center, and now over to the right wing side. As the pass to the right circle, Rister fought off by Partridge. Back it goes to the line, from left to right. Working it around the outside, Kings looking for their ingress point. At the line, shot wide. Never mind, it was blocked. Good effort there by William McCaig. Dropped it back to the line once again. Here's Lee looking, and a one-timer from the right circle, loose in front. Here it comes out, a Rister, hit the bodies again as he's diving around. Partridge still loose, it goes to the right corner. Bodies flying everywhere, including the netminder, as they tried to somehow, some way keep it a scoreless game, and they do. As Lee holding on to it for the Junior Kings. Great penalty killing so far by UCC. Here's a long distance strike from Lettieri. As Zavaleta was going to cover up, and with Andre in the area had to do so. So that will kill off a little bit extra time as our U15 Elite Canadian Crown carries on. There's the swimming netminder, aforementioned, down and out, but still able to keep his head above water. So Fabian going to be waved out. As Herman will come in to replace. Going up against Andre. As off of the reset. Try and poke it forward. LA win the draw, and they'll send it around the far side. Pass left wing side from King as Matning will work over the red. Gains the blue, feeds the right side. Here's a shot by Kim off of the blocker of Partridge. Loose puck cleared away to the near side. UCC now. Send it for distance down the ice as we've got under 30 seconds remaining on this power play. Both teams with good looks early on here in this first period. Some of the best have come the way of this Junior Kings squad. From left to right and into the attacking corner. Back for it first. It'll be Felix Lauren. Played it around the near side, pinching in. LA Kings almost able to hold. King will have to drop back with it. as we near the final 90 seconds of this frame. Down low and behind the cage out the other side. King able to hold the line once again. He'll chip it off of the boards and around to the near side, just out of the reach of Kim. As UCC now. Asal ahead for Bick. Bick with speed, tried to cut to the middle, poked away by Zavaleta. Near side corner. Mattening able to use the body to get away from Rui Asal. Mattening carries it himself. As we are back to 5 aside, just dumps it in. And we're into the final 60 seconds of this opening frame, just like that. Far side UCC falling down, still got the pass away. Dump and chase here. Going after it, Caden Noble. Noble takes Berriman into the end wall. Following up was Jack. Another heavy check there on the far side as Berriman will knock it down. Coming around the near wing, plays it off of the wall. As Thomason unable to get it cleanly out of the zone. Down to 30 seconds left. Pass up the middle. Couldn't quite control it, did Spano. It was a little hot coming from that right side. Pass up the near wing. They play it ahead as Grimes Jr. plays it off of the wall. UCC near side into the zone, drops it off. Here's the wrister, and it goes wide. Letary follows up. Pass to the middle. Good check there. Down to 9 seconds left. And a backhander. Gloved by UCC at their own line. Pass up the middle. They have time for one last strike. Here's Jack in. Wrister, and it goes. They're going to count it. Bar down to kick off the Canadian Crown for UCC. Beautiful stuff. Elijah Jack able to beat the buzzer as he will go off of the crossbar and down. Just when you think there's not enough time left on the clock, these players continue to impress. Into the top corner as the buzzer sounded. The official saying that one is going to count in due time. So they discussed it. Again, the call is a good goal. The LA Junior Kings are not going to be too plussed about that one as they thought it was late. It sounded like it was on time. It was an unfortunate angle for myself as that one went off of the bar and in right between myself and the camera operator. I'll have to see if I can find myself a better vantage point as we continue along here. But what a beautiful shot as we work our way into the intermission. As we welcome you once again, it is the Canadian Crown. And of course, a look at the highlights early on here for this first game. As we'll bring you up into said broadcast booth. As I'm not entirely sure, are we able to see what I was talking about in behind me right now? I'm trying to look at my preview here. Yes, we can. So immediately behind me here, I get to talk about this. This is our wonderful camera, and where Kieran, our camera operator, will be standing. But this right here that we can see is this beautiful Betty Crocker stainless steel panel that has been our now shield for the camera here at the Canadian Crown. As again, last time here at Dale Fisher, unfortunately, a puck made its way up into the broadcast booth with a lot of velocity, and the shield at that time was unfortunately the monitor on the back of the camera. So we have upgraded, and we have brought some defensive opportunities with us, as we have seen that out on the ice too. A solid opening 20 minutes for this game at the Canadian Crown as the LA Junior Kings find themselves in a 1-0 hole. UCC, a last-second buzzer beater off of the bar and in as the shot rings off the crossbar and goes down right as the buzzer sounds. So UCC hold on. A lot of early pressure from the LA Junior Kings in the opening 20, and UCC take the blows, roll with them, and their counter punch came right at the end. A wicked wrister from Elijah Jack. That stands as the go-ahead goal and the first goal over here on the Dale Fisher rink of this tournament. if I'm not mistaken, we've got some interviews to play during the intermission, so we're going to throw to one of those. We have the chance to catch up with a whole lot of different bodies coming up to the Canadian Crown, some assistant general managers, some directors of scoutings. We had a lot of people that we chatted with to figure out what was going to go on here at the Canadian Crown and why the scouts are so excited to put all their eyeballs on this event. So let's hear from them coming up as the intermission continues.
How's it going, Canadian Crown fans? Ian Wilson alongside Leland Mack, the Director of Scouting for the Prince George Cougars, ahead of the Canadian Crown coming up very, very soon. Leland, thank you for taking the time out to have a discussion with us.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
You are somebody who is very familiar with this tournament. You've gone from coaching in it to now you are going to be scouting in it. So, of course, you obviously bring forth a bit of a unique perspective on the events that happen within this tournament. What can you tell us about it and how excited you are to be back in a different capacity?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it next weekend for sure. Last year was cool. It was the first time I'd ever coached against the Shattuck St. Mary's team, which I believe is back this year in the tournament. So that was a big moment. We didn't do too amazing in the tournament, but the tournament was so good. Every game was you're playing a really good team with only 12 teams. The caliber was super high, and yeah, it was a good memory from last year for sure.
And now in your capacity as the Director of Scouting, coming back and having an opportunity to look at all of these players in a different light. For you, what are some of the things you're most excited about with a tournament of this caliber from a scouting perspective?
Well, we watch a lot of games and we go to a lot of tournaments over the season. And what's nice about this tournament is, and among the scouts, we always talk about it, is what's great about the Crown is there's no bad games to watch. Like
check. Whoa, there we go.
Of the 12 teams you're watching.
Check mic check 1 2 2 2 2 2. Check mic check 1 2. That is a heck of a lot better.
You never know how the games will actually go as far as results go, but there'll always be lots of games for the scouts to watch.
Check
every
mic
single
check.
game, which is all you could really ask for.
That's your interview.
Well, and especially with this format,
are you sure?
Every game
because
matters.
it's responding to when I'm talking like this.
The way the tournament unfolds, so there's that added pressure on these players each and every contest.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as scouts, it doesn't matter as much who wins or who loses the games, but the context of every game being very important does make the tournament that much more exciting, where you know that it's not just like a round robin game and we know we're going to be here, but they're really playing for something every game. Like you said, like I think last year we lost our first game to St. George's or something like that, and it made it tough we really knew we had to beat Shattuck's and we had to beat I think St. Albert we ended up playing as well. So it's a tough tournament, but scouting wise, what's great is it's a nice facility, it's easy to move around. You can either, as a scout, you can either pick one rink and just kind of watch that game, or you kind of bounce back and forth, which is easy to do in that facility. But yeah, no, every game mattering, just that makes the tournament way much better, and it's good for seeing players under pressure for sure.
We're going to see the players under pressure. We're going to see a lot of skill on display too, but as well the intangibles. Obviously, we know the skill is a very important thing because it gets you so far, but then there's that extra bit that pushes you over the edge. When it comes to the Prince George Cougars, what are some of the things that you guys are looking for when you come out to this tournament?
Just competitiveness and hockey sense, and then on the intangible side, like you said, obviously character is a big deal. So sometimes scouting wise, it's tough to see character from further back. It's easy when you're coaching because you're around the players every day and you know they're true characters, but scouts, we got to dig in. We got to watch the players closely. We got to watch them when they're on the bench, maybe even see them when they're warming up before the game and get a little feel for who they are as a person. But the intangibles is a big part of it for the Prince George Cougars for sure.
Last thing we have for you is just leave us off with a message ahead of this big prime caliber tournament.
Well, thanks to Northern Alberta Extreme and everyone there for helping host this event. It's definitely a big event on all the scouts' calendars of the year, and I don't know what the weather will be like, but it doesn't really matter because we're inside all the time. But yeah, we have about 4 or 5 scouts coming from the Cougars, and I know all the other WHL teams will have a bunch as well. So yeah, looking forward to the Black Jackets invading Devon there.
It's going to be a fantastic time. Well, thank you very much, Leland, for taking the time, and we look forward to seeing you soon at the Canadian Crown.
See you there. Thanks. Looking forward to it too.
Welcome back inside of the Dale Fisher Arena as the Canadian Crown continues into its second day of competition. Ian Wilson with you alongside the incredible broadcast crew of Trickshot Sports Production that does not miss. Happy to have you with us. As for here today, this Canadian Crown, now the U15 Elite Division, as they work their way into their opening contest. Our first game of the day was unfortunately postponed to tomorrow due to some travel issues, but for this here today, these teams are ready to rock and roll. We've got UCC and the LA Junior Kings as UCC the counterpunch in the dying seconds as right at the buzzer, a wrist shot into the top corner as Elijah Jack coming away with the first goal that Dale Fisher has seen here at this U15 Elite Canadian Crown. A solid run there from Sykes as the captain introducing himself into this second period. As again, your starting netminders, Dax Partridge on the side of UCC, and for the LA Junior Kings, it is Michael Zavaleta. Zavaleta from Hermosa Beach, a 14-year-old. Same for Dax Partridge, hailing from St. Catharines. Shot in front, blocked. Another one also blocked. Third one deflected as it finally makes its way through to Zavaleta. Excellent defending in front as they find opportunities, but just can't quite get the goal to go. As for this UCC team, they've definitely found their spark. After that opening frame, there was a whole lot of opportunity for the LA Junior Kings coming down the other way. But here and now, UCC looking to turn the tide here in this middle frame. Poked away near side, coming in from the line. Here's a shot, deflected wide again by the paddle of Zavaleta. Far side boards as it goes off of Jack's arm and out to the neutral zone, chopped away. As UCC, that was Francesco Letteri wearing number 4. He's at alongside Selby on this blue line shift. Into the attacking zone and blown offside as there will be a discussion there between UCC and LA. Nothing too crazy to speak of for it. 5 shots the differential now. It was a lot more steep in the favor of LA, but it has since come back down to earth a bit here. As for the Kings, they're certainly looking to recover after a solid opening 20 minutes. Saw a bit of a shocker against them at the end. Off the draw, left side, as Lauren sends it into the attacking end. Felix Lauren now out alongside Mr. Quinn Burrison for UCC. LA under pressure, good forechecking, pitting him against the wall. Tracking back was Fabian. He'll play it for Thomason. To the middle, UCC unable to cleanly break out. As that puck works its way into the far side, chipped off of the end boards. And it's reversed again to the right wing. Back tracking as they'll send it on the backhand. Fabian taken down as here come the Kings. Far side to the backhand. In on Partridge. Loose puck. Can he gobble it up? He does. Finally gets the blocker hand on top of the rebound. As Elijah Jack, the opening goal scorer here for UCC, the difference maker, as they say. Nothing better than a bar down beauty in the dying seconds to come away with some assistance for your team's efforts. Face off to the far side from our perspective. One back as UCC step in between. Bick to Sue, and following up was Letteri on that right side. Into the glove of Zavaleta, and he'll hold on for safekeeping. The official not blowing the whistle right away, and finally they realize that Zavaleta had it and is going to continuously decide to hold on. So 4 games total here today on Dale Fisher Rink, and then 4 tomorrow, followed by another 4 on Saturday, and then it is the B and A Division bronze and gold medal games coming up on Sunday. As for the C Division, they will have their semifinals the same as everybody else on Saturday, but then those games will be at the very beginning of the day on Saturday, and then their final will take place at the end of Saturday. So the C Division, those teams will be playing 2 games on Saturday, and then, of course, on Championship Sunday, we'll have the B and A divisions finishing things off there. But again, it's not so simple as it usually is with 4 divisions and 16 teams. You got to get a little creative with creating these final pools for our semifinal Saturday and beyond. Heavy check on the far side boards as a good steal. Rui Asal to the near side as Sykes, the captain, tried to cut to the middle, broken up. Kings, can they knock free? Sykes able to recover, and they'll take it back into their own zone out the near side. Sykes under pressure by Spano, played it up that near side for King. As I believe we're going to get a too many men call. Is that what I had seen there from the official? Or so the official having a quick discussion with the Junior Kings. They are going to send a player across. It'll be Matning. One player too many, 1-2 extra skates on the ice. So LA, they had their opportunity in the opening frame. They could not convert with the man advantage. Now it will be on the shoulders of UCC. Try and give us our first special teams opportunity of this tournament. Face off, near side from our perspective, left wing, back to Lettieri. He'll bank it off of the boards, left side. Jack in, wrister stopped by Zavaleta, rebounded behind the cage. No wraparound was available as they go up to the right point. Center line, Lettieri. Lettieri to the left wing side, looking, shooting. It's ramped up out of play as that one hit a stick and will go high. Lots of bodies getting in the shooting lanes for this LA Junior Kings squad. We were talking earlier today over on the other side with Mr. Connor King of Huntington Beach. Talked about how they like to be a fast and physical team. So the officials were having a quick discussion with a timekeeper, reported something to the coaching staff, and now we continue. 1:41 left to go on this power play. UCC down in the attacking end. As off of the draw, comes back to Lettieri. Lettieri, wrister, hit the bodies in front. They score! Fantastic opportunity for Lettieri. A seeing eye shot makes its way through, and that will be a 2-0 UCC lead. That shot somehow finds its way into the top corner as Lettieri let it go through the bodies. And that just finds its way home. Nothing you can do or say about that if you're the netminder. You had about 3 or 4 jerseys in between him and Lettieri when that one was let go. And even one of the Kings had tried to block that one up high. As off of the reset now, an opportunity once again for this UCC squad to try and build upon their momentum. They find themselves with a 2-0 advantage courtesy of that buzzer beater goal. So near side will be Rui Asal. Going to be waved out in favor of Caden Noble. They'll play it over far side. Looking at it as the wrister into the glove of Partridge holds on for safekeeping. The LA Junior Kings, this is the time where they've got to make sure they find themselves in good spirits as far as the pushback is concerned. They had a solid effort going with a shot lead and flow of play control in that opening period. A couple of cracks in the armor showing here as the buzzer beater goes in, and then there's a seeing eye shot through traffic, and a good reaction from Partridge as he gets a piece of that one. Opposite side, UCC. Turn it over as the D for LA. Tried to play it off of the top of the bench, and that'll be off a UCC player, so stopping play there. As here for the Canadian Crown, the U15 Elite, there are a ton of scouts in the building. We've seen a bunch of them come across here for the first game on Dale Fisher. And of course, they're out in force over on Zender Rink as well. GFL Twin Arena, they're going to be the place to be if you're looking for the best and brightest 12 of the biggest U15 teams in North America are here at the Canadian Crown. As the Junior Kings tried to play it forward, turned it over as it hit the back skate. Sue to the middle, goes right back to a King, and they'll have a chance to look forward. 2-on-2, nice speed near side in. Rister whistled wide left. Herman with a good break. Now the counterattack. UCC onside as Sykes tried to put it back out in front. Hits a body and goes to the Kings. Deflected off the benches near side. Back for it. Shoved down. Herman gets it free to Spano. Pardon me, to Hall. A backhander as they shovel it on goal. Stopped by Partridge. Back to the line it goes. King with a drive. Hits Sloan in front. And Mr. Hall gets the block. Far side as Andre sends it out to the other side. Off the stick on the far wing. Controlled by Zachary Matnick. Turning back around was King. He'll go over to Matnick on the far side. Played ahead for Thomason. Thomason controls. Played it back into the zone as they shoot it down ice. Looked like they tried to maybe send that to the netminder, but they will wave the icing off. They'll say it was tipped. Selby. Tipped by Andre to Jack. Jack in over the blue line. Attacking on the right side. Stops up at the circle. Left dot now. Lettieri to the middle. Can't find the target. And here's a chance now. Can the Kings break out? Kim on the far wing. Attacking to the middle. Rister deflected and goes wide. King gets a piece of that one. Comes out to the line. Rister blockered away. As a swing and a miss there to try and clear it up ice by Asal, but they get it the rest of the way through. Chip and chase for Noble. It'll backhand him from Berriman over to the far side. Following up was McCaig. On the forecheck, they win it back. McCaig, a wrister. Zavaleta the save. Rebound left side. They send it to the right point. Lettieri had it roll off his stick. He'll send the pass down low, poked away by the Kings. Lee up the boards to the middle. Pass across was poked forward by Hall. As then they send it into the offensive zone again. Trevor Earl doing the duties there. Earl following up. Centering pass. Coming in off the right side. Good recovery there as it's knocked away by Spano. Turnover. Lauren takes advantage. Played it off of the boards into UCC offensive territory. Fresh legs coming out onto the ice to try and press the advantage, though. Kings winding their way near side. Get it into the zone, but not for long. The follow-up, though, as Hall chips it around a man, chasing after it. Sloan Hall down low. Centering feed. Doesn't get a lot on it as UCC regain control. Bick leaves it off for Sykes. Sykes on the left wing side. Outside, inside move. Carries, shoots, and that one goes high and wide. Following up, the Kings get a break here. Right wing side. Man cutting to the middle. Here's Fabian. Centers to Spano. Loose in the skates. And Partridge has it under the glove. Good effort by Partridge to cover the lower half of the cage. Spano mixing it up in the middle. It was in between the wickets, but couldn't find a way to get the backhander on it to send it home. So UCC, a defensive zone draw on the far side, and a good pushback from the Junior Kings here is Eli Fabian going up against Elijah Jack as Rui Asal. There's Andre with a shot into the glove of Zavaleta, going to hold on for safekeeping. Again, still a 2-0 game right now. Or did they talk about it and end up waving it off? It's still listed as 1-0 right now despite that goal. Maybe they eventually did wave off that buzzer beater after some continued discussion with the timekeeper. Not sure. We'll have to see if they do get that added up at some point. So Selby will play it off of the wall. Back and it goes to LA territory. In behind the cage, out the near side. A look there for Matning. Reverses in behind the cage, chipped off of the wall as Thomason tipped it down ice. It'll go right to Partridge to negate the icing. Selby, left wing play, intercepted by Fabian. Then on the back check, Andre will have a piece of it. Far side, as looking to get free was Burrison. For Selby, Selby going for a stroll on the right wing side. Selby stopped up, little backhander in behind the cage. Jack tried to center, no good. Sharp feed, tipped, they score! Kean Selby, right on the front porch, able to tip that puck home and increase this UCC lead. Solid effort right in front. As we have a look at it once again, as I look at the replay, pardon me, that is Rui Asal. As that is number 98, not number 88. Trick of the light and a trick of the distance on the other side of the rink. So Rui Asal out of Toronto, Ontario has got UCC on the board once again here in this second period. As now the box score says 4-0 in the arena here, but I think they mean to say 3. So my apologies. Again, that was not Selby. That was Asal that comes away with that tip in front. Again, from distance, 98 and 88 look pretty darn similar. As that'll go in behind the cage, here's King. Plays a right wing feed as LA look to get out of their own zone. Attacking as they'll work it into the offensive territory. Stopped up far side, centering pass, and Partridge with the denial. Centering feed once again. They'll chip it up to the line, and that one heads out the other direction. Matning will be back for it as the Kings now faced with this 3-0 deficit. So they've recovered on the scoreboard there. It is not 4-0, it is 3-0. So the buzzer beater from the opening frame still does stand at this point. Round and behind the cage it goes. UCC will leave that one for Lauren, who played it up the near side. Bick relayed to the middle for Sioux. As a backhander on the far board, Sykes tried to shovel it ahead. Here's a look again. Left wing side, Spano's shot deflected wide. Following up was Thomason. Thomason tried to go to the front of the goal. And Sykes now. Left wing with pace has Sioux in the middle. Sykes, the captain for UCC, carries. Shields feeds it out left point, cutting in, takes the shot, a pad save. Here's Sykes on the backhander, wide of the goal. That one's cleared. It will come all the way down ice and will be iced. So no rest for the weary for the LA Junior Kings. Kim, Spano, and Thomason are going to be stuck out. UCC are going to go with Letary, as well as Ethan Andre, Rui Asal, the most recent goal scorer, Elijah Jack, and their last man back will be Amir Babali. As far side, Kings try to play it up the middle, broken up on that right wing. Comes out to the neutral ice. Babali drops back for it. Fed it right wing side, D to D, as UCC with control of the lead in this game now. They weathered the early storm and they are back. Jack flipped it through the middle as Zavaleta able to steer it aside. Jack snaps it down low, tipped on goal, but Rui Asal sends it to the middle. One-timer, no good, goes left. Elijah Jack under pressure as Grimes Jr. tried to muscle it out of the zone. Played to the middle again for Jack. Backhand feed across the goal mouth, and Zavaleta's there. Here's a look for the LA Junior Kings. Letary breaks up the cross seam feed. Played off the wall. And around and behind the goal. Following up, a backhander will come to the near side corner. In behind the cage is Assault. Tried to center in front. Puck is loose. Zavaleta down. Where is it? And the play blown down as everybody going for a discussion in front. Lions officials getting their dollars worth, trying to separate everybody. As we have a look at the behind the net angle from this and the zoomed in feed as well. Here's the angle. Zavaleta goes down. That puck stays loose and trying to dig it free in front. Drawing the ire of the LA Kings. So still a 3-0 contest. And the LA Junior Kings started this game hot. Had a lot of solid opportunity in the first half of the opening frame. Really for the first 3 quarters of that opening period. But UCC have certainly turned things around here in the second. Here's a steal and a shot high over top of the goal. Far side for Herman. The play it low was intercepted by McKaig. Chip and chase off of the boards goes right back to the Kings D. King, far side. As Matning drops it back to Connor King. King, push it to the forehand, coming around the near side. Big man using the mobility as they then dump it in. Partridge watches it to the far side. Sloan Hall in, alongside Herman. As Noble comes away with the puck. Ahead as Earl couldn't knock it out of the zone. There's some physicality between McKaig and Herman. As back will be Matning into his own zone. Herman was calling for it at center ice. Stretch pass as they got their signals crossed. Here's a look for Lee. Lee in. Knocked away. Good stick by Higgins. Right wing side as Sykes tried to knock it ahead. Second chance. He gets it out to neutral ice. Still working it forward. Reaches out and then it's gloved down by Sue. Sue. Back to Lauren. Gets square. Surveys the ice. Passes ahead for Sykes, who gets run over by Hall. Higgins now on the follow-up. As Sue into the zone, feeds it across for Bick. Bick takes it off the corner, near side, feeds it to the middle. And around it goes, far side corner. Sykes following up, waiting, passing to the middle. Off a skate to the near side wall. King follow up with a bank shot off the boards. Kim tried to cut around the outside. Lauren steps through, feeds it up the middle for Bick. Down to about 6.5 left to go in this second period. Down low, Jack to the middle, gets across left side as Asal unable to make that one towards the goal. Back towards the line. And a look for the Kings again into the attacking zone. To the middle, snaps it. That's up onto the safety netting and up out of play. Look there in transition for number 23, Mr. Deslin Grimes Jr. So the Kings just need to find that identity that they had in the opening frame once again. Of course, when you're missing a bunch of bodies, as there's some players serving a 1-game suspension for this opening game of the Canadian Crown. Definitely going to be tougher to win the endurance battle, but they definitely had it figured out in that opening period. That last-second buzzer beater taking some wind out of their sails. Elijah Jack to the forehand and put it high over top of the goal. As Elijah Jack looking to do some more damage, the opening goal scorer for this UCC side. Letary, pass up the middle, intercepted. Kings with a look. Thomason, wrister, Partridge a glove save, and he's able to get on top of the rebound. As Partridge, the good glove save, looking solid so far in this contest. Defense are there to support with the rebound that landed right next to him, but didn't necessarily even need that extra stick. Noble, Earl, Selby, McKaig, and on the far wing, that will be Mr. Hunter Higgins. McKaig is going to be waved out. Noble. Never mind, it'll be Earl coming in. Earl versus Hall on the drop. As Earl won it to the wall. Comes out to the neutral ice area as Noble Working the forecheck. King will send a backhander. Then Matning plays it off of the wall. Hall tried to work it ahead across the red. Just over the blue as Higgins sends it back the other way. In behind the cage, a backhander to the near side for King. Passes it forward. Here's a chance. Can they break through? Good defensive play by Higgins. Selby knocked it forward for Noble. Then a backhander off of the wall. Look towards the middle. Across the zone, left side. Earl leaves it off. Bottom of the left circle. Tried to pass to the middle. No dice as UCC able to hold it in briefly. Kings can't clear as King goes to Matning and feeds it to Hall. Hall tried to drag it through, uses the big physical presence, gets it right back. Hall, far side, sharp angle feed off the pads of Partridge. Spano able to battle for the rebound. Knocked away. Higgins will send it off of the window. That gets out to the neutral zone. It's Grimes Jr. now out alongside King. King, a snap pass up the middle for Hall. Dragged around the first man. A backhander was picked off by Bick. Down to 4:20 left to go in this second period. Hall pinning his man against the wall. Puck will pop free as Bick sends it through. Danger as Kim was in the area. Kings as LA. D-to-D feed nearly broken up by Sioux. Pass up the middle, deflected. They get it right back. Here's a shot by Fabian, blocked by Selby. As Sykes chipped it off the wall, dumped right back in by LA. UCC as Partridge took the mustard off it and behind the goal. Took a deflection at the line. UCC still with it though as Higgins pivots. Higgins to the left side for Bick. Bick with speed, gets to the top of the circle, feeds the middle, deflected as it goes in behind the goal. Big collision back there as it was Berriman breaking it up. Pass ahead up the middle. Thomason couldn't get cleanly around Bobley and company. Gave it away. Thomason, can he take advantage? It's stopped by Partridge. As Fabian taken out heavy along the boards. Thomason keeping it alive. Here's Lee. Lee in behind the goal with the puck. Tried the wraparound, broken up by the stick of Lauren. Pinching in, taken against the wall. Berriman centers the one-timer, they score! LA battle back as they keep the puck alive. They feed it to the middle, and they are on the board. Fabian blasts it home as the Kings break the goose egg. Excellent hold along the wall, and the centering feed to Fabian, who does the rest on the 1T. Not a lot that UCC could do there. They failed to clear on the near side wall. Excellent hold as the Kings send it to the middle. And Fabian will break through and cut the lead to 2. Now how does UCC respond? As this Kings squad, who had a lot of upstart in that opening period, now they've got momentum. Hall in, shot through. Partridge is able to hold on. As the conversation continues, as the official looking to draw the line here, as there's been some conversations going on between both sides. A little bit of pushing and shoving, a little bit of hacking and slashing after the whistle, and looks like the official going to elect to go with the stern conversation approach on that one. So Jack going up against Lee. The official telling everybody to back up. Lee wins it. Back to the line. Kings take the shot. That one deflects up onto the netting and out of play. As 29-21 your shots on goal, the Kings. Again, it was a turnabout. This game flipping on its head, in part thanks to that buzzer beater that just shifted momentum in favor of UCC. They took that feel good into the locker room, and they came out flying in this second period. Built them the 3-0 lead, and now LA are chipping away. Drop feed for Rui Asal, and it was offside as Elijah Jack with one extra move to set him up at the blue line put the operation offside. Coming up at the intermission, I believe we're going to be hearing some more from our wonderful scouts that we had the chance to talk to prior to the tournament. Of course, you can find those interviews at Canadian Crown Tournaments on Instagram. Follow along as well on the website for all the up-to-date information on the happenings here at the Crown. You can find the schedules, the stats, links to all of the broadcasts of the different games. As Sloan Hall will dump it in. LA going to make up the lost ground here. They're down by 2 in the late stages of this second period. Chipped off of the boards, and down it goes out the other way. Following up is Connor King. The backhand feed around and behind the cage was picked off by the forecheck. Tried to chip it to McCaig. As they'll play it off of the boards was Lee. Selby waiting at the left point. Coming across, trying to pick this one up. Selby to the middle. Wrister. And a glove save for Zavaleta. Zavaleta with some solid work here in this contest. Again, the first 2 goals can't really pin the blame, as that first one was just a perfect top corner bar down shot, and the second one a seeing eye point shot through a ton of trees that were between him and the initial shooter in Letary. Centering pass broken up, goes out to the right point, held in as they play it off of the wall into the corner from McCaig. Tried to center to the middle, goes into the glove of Zavaleta, who will just hold on. Of course, be sure to stay tuned throughout the entirety of the Canadian Crown. We've got 3 more games coming up here on Dale Fisher Rink later today. And, of course, another 4 tomorrow, 4 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. Of course, semifinal Saturday and then the championship Sunday. These teams battling through the round robin to see where the dominoes will fall come playoff time. Berriman in behind the cage, a backhander, finds its way to that far side for Fabian. Pass ahead on the wing as Kim stopped up at the line. Here's Thomason with the puck. Thomason tried to dangle his way through. Followed up. Thomason, loose puck, comes out to the line. Berriman tipped it, and they kept it on side. Excellent work. Tipped in front. Loose puck, and they score! Thomason cleans up the mess in front, and just like that, LA are back within 1. A broken play, just barely held onside. And at the end of it all, Thomason is able to send it home across the netminder. Go to the dirty areas and you shall be rewarded, as Thomason just finds his way and is able to tuck that home after it deflected off the netminder and landed in behind him. So a 3-2 game, 49.3 left in the second period, as LA able to give a little taste of their own medicine, as it were, to UCC. They got a very late goal in the first. Now they'll pick up a late goal here in the second. LA, can they find a bit more? Far side, waiting, comes around behind the cage. Centering pass off the skate of Spano to the line. Shot through traffic, deflected to the far side. Herman tried to center. Here's Spano, far corner. Spano to the line. Here's a look for Grimes Jr. Dances his way around one man, feeds it to the corner. Tried to send it to the middle. Here's a one-timer, deflected, comes around to the near side. That biscuit is going everywhere. 10 seconds left here in this second period. Sent the distance. And that is going to go wide, so it will be iced with about 3 seconds left in the frame. So 30-24, the shots on goal as LA showing signs of life here in this second period. They were down 3-0, but they have answered the run with one of their own. They are definitely within shouting distance as we head towards this third period. Lee and Sykes, as Sykes down on top of it. And Sykes is going to come away with a penalty. Sykes going to get a delay of game penalty on this one. As 3 seconds were left, he just wanted to collapse on top of the puck and kill off the rest of the period. But now there's about .3 remaining on the clock. And this power play, they're going to load up here with the extra attacker. The net is empty for LA. We'll see what they can find here with .3 left. And they won it forward off of the swing by Herman, but deflected and could not find anything on the rebound. So Sykes was trying to kill off the rest of the contest, but in the end, it will be a 3-2 hockey game through 40 minutes of play as the LA Kings have found their spark here in this second period. It was a 3-0 run that then all of a sudden is answered with a 2-goal run. As we welcome you back into the broadcast booth here at Dale Fisher Rink, the GFL Twin Arenas, the home of the Canadian Crown, as our first game of 4 on the day is underway. Our original first game of the day has been rescheduled until tomorrow night, 7:30, over on Zender Rink, as the team from Illinois having a bit of troubles getting out here, some flight troubles, things of the like, so they just rescheduled the game. No harm, no foul. It will all get sorted out here at the Canadian Crown. So our first game of the day here between LA and UCC, some Canada, USA action here at the Crown. And it's been an exciting contest as the opening frame looked like it was all LA. They had the lead in the shot department, and they were controlling the flow of play big time. But now, here in this second period, things have been flipped on their head. It was a back-and-forth affair as UCC used the momentum from that opening goal at the tail end of the first period to come out in force in this second frame. They come out, they produce a 3-0 lead, and LA on the back foot just did not look like they had that same gumption that they had in the opening frame, but they dug in and they battled back. A 2-goal run of their own has them within 1 heading into this third period, and they get it done both with a beautiful centering feed off a great hold at the line and then a one-timer from the slot as well. That second goal just go to the net and good things happen as Thomason able to clean up and make it a 1-goal game. We're going to throw to another one of our wonderful interviews, so don't go anywhere. Do not change that dial. The intermission show continues here at the Canadian Crown.
How's it going, Canadian Crown fans? Ian Wilson alongside Bobby Fox, the Assistant General Manager of the Medicine Hat Tigers. Bobby, thank you very much for taking some time out of, I'm sure, a busy schedule to sit down and have a chat.
Oh, thanks for having me.
No worries whatsoever. Of course, the Canadian Crown at this time of recording, just a few short days away. Hard to believe it's already here, and the excitement is palpable as the top U15 talent coming from across North America to partake in the Crown. How excited are the scouts to come out and see?
I know our scouts are excited. It's a priority event for us. You get to. It's essentially the halfway mark of the scouting season, and we're just looking for steady progression and make sure we got everything covered.
And for a tournament like this, you mentioned it's the midway point of the season, so you get to check in with players. What are some of the things that you guys are looking to check in about? What are some of the ways that players are able to stand out amongst the rest at this point of the season?
Consistency is huge for us. Like, we're looking and progression. We want guys like the WHL. It's a really hard league, and you guys have to constantly get better to have success. And we have our checkpoints beginning of the season, and halfway through the season, and hopefully in the provincial events at the end of the season. We're seeing a steady increase in terms of, things, what the kids can do is, just play with passion, show how much they love that this is going to be a competitive tournament. And it's perfect for us to see, who rises to the top. And for the kids, there'll be 2 games going on at a time. There's going to be multiple scouts there for the kids. They can't take a shift off because you never know at what particular time what guy's going to be watching, what somebody's going to notice. A scout may be walking back and forth, and you want to make sure you make a good impression on every shift.
Definitely. Time is of the essence, and you have to be able to make most of the moment. And with this being a tournament format, obviously, a chance to see a little bit of a different side maybe of these players and their performance, because it's one thing to look at a player in a regular season game, but an entirely other thing when the ante is upped in a format like this.
Yeah, I think you'll get 2 different opinions on that. There's some guys like I'll show up on a Tuesday night and a rink in the middle of nowhere, and you want to see how a guy plays when there's nothing on the line. You want to make sure that every night he's bringing it. But obviously, every team in the Western League is looking to win a championship, and they want to see which guy's game rises, and their competitive juices, who's really going and who's contributing to those wins.
Now, you make some very good points there. And the last thing I got for you, I mean, you talked about the WHL being a very difficult league. In your words, what does it take to get to that level? And specifically in your case, what does it mean to be a Medicine Hat Tiger?
You have to be able to think the game. You have to, for us, you got to be able to skate. You got to obviously have to have that skill level. But again, guys are built different in the Western League. Really competitive guys trying to find a way to get better. So, it's basically what you're doing when nobody's looking, to get better. And, lots of, whether it's shooting 1,000 pucks a day, whether it's, working on, maybe a simple thing is just box jumps or something to get your speed up, your explosive power up. So, it's one thing, and we're not looking for guys just to make the Western League. We want guys that are going to come in and thrive, and then sign pro contracts. So it's a process, and we're looking for guys with that growth mindset.
Fantastic, Bobby. Last thing, any final words or a message ahead of this big tournament?
Not in particular. I just it's play your game within the team game, and there's going to be, each team is going to have 4 or 5 staff members there watching. It's what's your ability to black that out, play in the present, and go after it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for taking the time out for a chat, and we'll see you very, very soon at the Canadian Crown.
All right. Thank you very much.
Welcome back inside of Dale Fisher Rink here at the GFL Twin Arenas in beautiful Devon, Alberta, the home of NAX and the Devon Extreme. This is the Canadian Crown. Some of the top U15 programs from across North America have descended upon beautiful Alberta, the Great White North. It is snowing outside. It is hockey weather, and it's time to see what these teams have in store coming up for this third period. Ian Wilson with the call on behalf of the wonderful broadcast crew of Trickshot Sports Production that does not miss. Happy to have you with us as we bring you all the best from the Canadian Crown live to wherever you find us from. 3-2 is your score in favor of UCC as they get a buzzer beater at the end of the opening frame and add on 2 more in the middle period before LA come to life and rattle off 2 unanswered of their own to make it a 1-goal hockey game. We'll see what else they have left in store. As for these teams, the opportunity aplenty to make a name for themselves in front of tons of college and CHL scouts looking to find the best and brightest in young talents that are going to shepherd in the next generation. As Selby under pressure, Hall follows up with a shot loose in front, the rebound, it'll go wide. As they send it back in front once again, it hits the pile of bodies and comes back out to the right point. Left side now, back to the right. Center blue line. Left wing now for Lee, back up. As LA working around the outside, looking to see if they can tee up a tying goal. Deflected and stolen away at the far side as they'll try and chip it low. LA with it again. Back up right side. Tried to feed it through, no good. Reaching for it was Berriman. Coming around left wing side, held in onside. Selby battling. As then Lauren slaps it around the bottom side of the boards. It's going to come all the way back down into LA territory. Still some power play time here for the Kings. After the late delay of game penalty by Sykes as the face-off with 3 seconds left in the second period, he just collapsed down on top of the puck and put his hands on top of it to try and run out the clock. Of course, here's the wrister blockered away by Partridge. Of course, that is a delay of game penalty, so unfortunately for the captain, right idea, poor execution. As he had won the draw, all he needed to do was drag it back and have his defender clear it out of the way. Instead, LA gets this power play opportunity, but it looks like in the end, it's going to be a chance for this UCC squad to build a bit of momentum on the penalty kill. Tried to win it back to the line. They'll send it off the wall around to the near side. A look for UCC. They'll flip it ahead, tipped by Matning's glove, goes back to Zavaleta. Here's a look around the near wing, backhander to the near side corner. Tipped off the end boards as Connor King goes after it. Gets a hit for his troubles. Sykes will kick it up the wall. UCC down low, centering feed in front, poked away by the defense. And it's at that right side circle for King to follow up on. Right side, Thomason, wrister off the chest protector, and he'll hold on. Does Mr. Partridge. As you can hear the official yelling at the players to leave it once again. As this entire tournament so far, and we've seen with the previous Canadian Crowns, the officials have kept a pretty darn decent lid on things. Haven't had too many debaucheries or debacles. As LA going to wave in a new center. It'll be Masashi Herman. Won it back, wrister by Lee, blocked. Held in, right side wrister, paddled away. And a loose puck, UCC will play it off of the boards, held in, and sent down the wall by Berriman. Here's Lee. Lee at the circle, shoots, scores! A wicked wrister from the right side as Lee ties the game. Aaron Lee, the pride of Newport Beach, tees it up from the right dot. And it is a wicked shot that blows past the netminder. The lefty lets it fly And this game is tied up at 3. Into the top corner over the shoulder. Not a lot of daylight to work with there. So 3-3 your score now. LA have drawn even. A 3-goal run of their own to answer the 3-goal run that was issued by UCC. Centering pass knocked away. Good stick in the middle by Selby. Stretch pass. Far side icing was waved off as Berriman drops back on Andre. Here's Lee, a chance to work on the right wing. Shadowed by Elijah Jack. Puck will work its way across. It's a delayed offside. As then continuing to check there, had to back off, was Desmond Grimes Jr. At the benches, Herman into the zone. Fabian following up. Turned over as UCC look to accelerate. Good stick by Grimes, breaks it up at the line. Masashi Herman. Puck will come to the near side corner. And they escape out the far wing. No, Hall leaves it for Berriman. Right wing side. Zachary Berriman. Off of the end boards and back up the far side for UCC. Upper Canada College, push it to the middle. Here's the follow-up, takes the shot, and they score! Zavaleta got a piece of it with his glove, but not enough. It deflects into the back of the goal, and UCC restore the 1-goal lead. That'll be Lettieri's second of the contest. Comes down off of the blue line to the near side circle, gets a whole lot of that wrist shot, and powers it through the glove of the netminder into the back of the goal. So that's 2 now for Lettieri, as they had the seeing eye point shot back in the opening frame. Or the middle frame, I should say. That was what got them to a 2-0 lead. So now a 4-3 contest here from Dale Fisher, as both of these sides not taking a shift off. So they've actually credited that goal back in the middle frame to Sykes instead of Lettieri. The shot off of the pads and the rebound just wide of the far post. Here's a look at the line. From the left side, deflected up and out of play. As we'll get a reset down at the UCC end of the rink. So yes, right now they have credited that first goal on the power play. They've given it to Peter Sykes on the online score sheet. I believe that should stay as Lettieri's. So that would be Francesco Lettieri's second goal of this contest. As off of the boards, that'll work its way in behind the cage. Tried to center, no good. Sloan Hall following up on it. Chips it off of the wall and around behind the cage, out the other side. Opportunity for Amir Babali to try and get out of the way. Can't get out of harm's way as that puck's stolen away by Hall, sent back in front, and it's covered up by Partridge. And LA opening up a big shot lead as well now to boot. 10 greater at 35-25 currently. UCC, though, they'll take that goal lead instead. 4-3, courtesy of the work of Francesco Lettieri. Pushing it up the left wing side. Grimes sends it to the middle and misses to the far side boards. UCC send it forward. Here's a look on the far wing. Sykes tried to drag it through. Played off of the boards. Sykes feeds it left side, over top of the goal. Excellent effort coming in off the blue line for Higgins. Loose puck chasing after it is Herman. In behind the cage, out the near side, centering pass broken up. UCC cut across, and they'll chip it to the neutral ice. As Hall pulls it through to the forehand. Following up was Fabian left side. Fabian centering pass off a skate, goes to the opposite wall. Snap pass on the money. Here's Ethan Andre. Andre towards the goal, it goes wide. Following up, a good opportunity for Rui Asal, looking for his second goal of the game. Centering pass off the crossbar. celebrated a bit early as they chipped it over the netminder, but could not beat the steal. Selby holds it in. Asal and Fabian come together. Far side, UCC tried to center, no good, as Berriman to the line. Selby holds, tipped, goes wide of the far post, in behind the cage, centering pass. Gathered up. Here goes Kim. Kim left wing side. Stops up, plays it to the middle. Tried to leave it behind for the trailer, knocked down by Fabian. Right side, Spano takes the shot, stopped, rebound over the stick. Another backhander in front, still loose, controlled by UCC. Tried to swipe it across. Matning to the right wing side. As they chip it forwards, UCC, it's Selby tracking back for it. Round to the far side. UCC chip it off of the wall. To the middle it goes, no good. And they knock it forward, glove down. Kings hold the zone. Spano waits, takes, and a stop by Partridge. Off the window, Matning able to hold it in at the left point. Tries to send it through as UCC, a backhander off of the wall. Off the stick, here's a wrister just wide. Looking to take advantage there was McCaig. Centering pass, gets through everybody, goes to Kim, and he'll accelerate. Pass through intended for Thomason. Out of the cage and played around by Partridge. Thomason with the steal. And a penalty coming here. A hooking call. So Thomason comes away with the steal and draws the penalty as Caden Noble is going to head to the sin bin for a couple of minutes. A solid look there from Thomason, who worked in on the forecheck, was able to come away with an excellent opportunity and then gets his team on the special teams to boot. LA going toe-to-toe with his UCC squad. Two teams with a long, storied success in their history. As a glove hand pass going to be called on that play. About 7 seconds ticking by off of the power play. That will bring things back out to the neutral zone. So Lee has a quick slap off of the win from the faceoff. Goes all the way down. Zavaleta will leave it for Grimes Jr. Cross to the near side. Berriman leaves it for Grimes. Grimes Jr. will venture down the left wing side. Into the zone, round the outside, centering pass, no good. As they chip it off of the boards, Berriman pinching in, try to keep it alive. As they'll run right into Francesco Lettieri in the corner. Off the board it goes, back out, and nearly broken up. Thomason, a wrister, blocked again. Backhander towards the goal, paddled away by Partridge. Far side corner, LA to Berriman, a blast, and it's blocked by Sykes. As Sykes, the diving effort to get that out of the zone, as that one stung. Sykes just crumpling over the boards into the bench, trying to get off of the ice after he soaked all of that slap shot. Here's a shorthanded look, chips it forward just out of the reach as Andry goes after it. Andry to the far side, a backhander is now UCC looking to play keep away and kill off some important time from this power play. Zavaleta to Berriman and a pass forward. Here goes Herman. Herman left wing side, cuts around a couple defenders into the middle. Hall with it, sends it to the goal, and it's tipped wide. Centering pass, loose in the slot. Hall gets it to the forehand, snaps it, loose again. Herman battling for it as Partridge able to find it. Everybody getting involved in the scrum in front as we're down to 17 seconds on the man advantage, 10:44 in this third period. So LA are going to get Herman traded out for Spano. Again, we'll see when we get to have Sykes come back into this game. Saw him gingerly make his way to the bench after he blocked a big slap shot by Berriman. Off the draw, wrister. They score! A deflection makes its way to the back of the goal as LA tie the game once again. A power play goal takes a fortuitous deflection with under 15 to go on the man advantage. LA get it to ripple the twine. A quick shot off the draw by Spano. Took a deflection off the defender's stick, it looked like. And it makes it through Partridge. Well, you can hit the reset button as with 10:40 left in this third period, we've got a tie game once again. Here's a look for McCaig. Tried to get around the outside of Matning, couldn't do it. Hall to the left wing side for Spano, stays out, takes a shot, deflected as UCC will gather the rebound to the near side. UCC stands up his man, good, gets a solid chunk of him on the reverse hit as a shot off the stick, up onto the safety netting, and that is out of play. As Hall tried to get a chunk of his man in the offensive zone, a good reverse hit sent him down to the ice. As LA down by as much as 3, they tied the game at 3 apiece before giving up the go-ahead, and now it is a tie game at 4 once again. Thomason, right wing feed into the zone, dropped it back. Thomason again. Watched as they send it down low, out the near side. Backhander by Babali. As it goes around far wing for Bick. Tried to tip it past Berriman, no good. Thomason on the forecheck, held in. Berriman takes a wrister down low. Left side Grimes. Grimes Jr. down low, centering pass, deflected, goes to the right wall. Berriman pinching in, keeps it alive, deflected. As Rui Asal was looking to break free. That one's picked off on the wall by Higgins. Pass ahead intended for Asal. And that is iced. Rui Asal unable to beat out the icing call on that one, but it will send things down to his end of the rink. So Babali out with Selby, Asal, Bick, and Ethan Andre. Single digits left in regulation in this contest. We get a bit of an extended break here, though, as Partridge is fixing the equipment in the crease right now. Tie game here at 4, and I suppose you got to make sure that you're ready for every stop here, which includes Partridge making sure the equipment is on tight. Down at the other end here, Zavaleta had a couple that he would want back, including that one by Francesco Lettieri that goes through the mitt and into the back of the goal. Out to the line, Grimes across from left to right. Back to the middle left side, Hall tried to drag it through, it was poked away. UCC send it ahead. Here's a look, dropped back, wrister into the glove of Zavaleta. The trailer play comes to fruition as Zavaleta gets his redemption, puts that one into the glove and holds on. As I look over, I can see his mask actually does say Mikey on it. They were talking when we were asking pronunciations earlier. He goes by Mikey, Mr. Michael Zavaleta. In fact, the roster sheet that I have says Michael Zavaleta II has the 2 next to his name. So I wonder. I've seen a lot of juniors, but not necessarily a second before. Usually you see that when it comes to the 3rd. But Mikey Zavaleta having a solid game alongside on the other end, Mr. Dax Partridge. Puck comes in behind the cage as Jack goes after it. Wins the battle for UCC. Trying to keep it alive in the corner. Hit the official skate as Matning reverses to King. Up the left wing side. They try and chip it forwards. Down the ice it goes. Does it have the legs for icing? No. It died before the line. One time on the D2D feed, a backhander off of the boards. Near wing side. Puck will pinball around a few times as Fabian then sends it in on the backhand down low. Matning took it off the chest, kept it alive for LA. Here's a look. Thomason to the goal and a shoulder save by Partridge. In behind the cage. Played it forward off of the boards. Picked off as LA. Spin off of the contact against the wall. Thomason as Lee there in support. Puck now sent out to neutral ice. Down to 7:44. King centering feed for Lee. Goes wide of the goal. Lee on the follow-up. Near side wall as Hall muscles it down low and behind the cage. Hall to the far side corner with it. Skates onto it. Backhands it down low. Tried to kick it forwards to the front of the net. Partridge down in the butterfly watching the angles. UCC. Play it out to neutral ice. Knocked away from Grimes Jr. Berriman back for it first. Sends a backhander to the near side wing. Follows up. Tried to knock it through. Grimes Jr. Stolen away. Sykes to the middle, and that's going to be deflected up and out of play. Nearly introducing itself to our behind the net camera. Lands just shy. 6:59 left to go. It's a tie third period here from Dale Fisher. So Spano and Kim, they're going to be sent back to the bench. A little bit of gamesmanship there just to earn a few extra seconds of reprieve. Sykes tied up near side corner. Puck works free. Centering pass. Here's the shot. Tipped wide. In behind the goal. Sykes, captain of UCC. Sykes with it up high. Feeds it far wing side. Selby snaps it into the near side corner. Following up is Francesco Lettieri. Tried to take the shot as they flip it forwards. Following up down low is Selby. Down to 6.5 left in this third period. Still a tie game at 4. Grimes. Right wing play as Fabian bounces off of the wall into the attacking zone. Down low. They'll play it around near side. And out to neutral ice. Here's a look with speed. Far side. Here's a wrister deflected and comes off the boards near side. Sykes backhands it deep into the zone. Centering pass out of the reach of Andre. Herman couldn't clear the zone as Andre with it. Toes the line, comes around near side. Andre with it. And he'll score! As they dropped it off for Rui Asal, he'll have his second of the contest. And UCC back up on top once again. A blink and you miss it type of tip in. Has a beautiful find on a backhand pass curling in the corner. Hits Asal in front of the goal, and they'll tip it into the top corner. So now we hit the reset button on this third period once again, as instead of being a tie game, we get the timeout because LA looked to redraw the battle lines here. Down by 1 once again. It was tied at 3, then it was 4-3, now 4-4, and then just recently, thanks to the work of a beautiful tip by Asal, it will be a 5-4 hockey game. Excellent stuff from UCC as they have come to play in this third period. They shook off the 3-goal run by LA, and UCC holding on to this 1-goal lead. We get the timeout by LA with 5:51 to go. So the netminders return to the crease. The players will line up at center. And again for LA, a bit shorthanded in this contest. Maybe that timeout just an opportunity to reset the mental clock and give them a bit of a breather to try and make this pushback in the final 6 minutes. Off the draw, King onto the backhand across to Matning. Matning sends it over, right wing side, has that one chipped off of the back window, and will end up down low near side. Tried to knock it through. Battle continues near side. As the backhander round that far wing. Here's a look up the middle for Thomason. Backhand up the near side for Sioux. UCC into the zone. That's into the glove of Zavaleta. He'll drop it off for King. As they play it through left side for Thomason into the attacking zone. Nice drag move onto the backhand. Shoved away. Good recovery on the pressure by UCC. One hand on the stick, able to chip it, but not out. Down low for Thomason. Runs into his man. UCC looking to dig in defensively here. As Kim going to play it up the wall. Kim now looking. Feeds it across left side for Matning. Back to the right for King. Dumps it in. Both UCC players took a swipe at it. Neither made contact. Stretch pass tipped. That will be from the wrong side of the red line, though, so icing is the call. As now here, 29-40. Your shots on goal. Deep into the third period, 4:35 left. You're tuned in on Trick Shot, the home of the Canadian Crown, here at GFL Twin Arenas in Devon. First game for these two teams. They look to make their mark here at the Canadian Crown. Off of the draw, UCC. Out of their own zone, pass up the near side, tipped to the middle by Asal. Rui Asal, Andre to the far side as Jack tried to take the shot. Jack through. As now Hall tipped it ahead. And icing is the call. So now UCC, they're looking for the dagger late in this contest. They've got the lead. They led by as much as 3. See if they can establish some of that dominance they had earlier on in this contest. They'll certainly be searching for it. Will it come in a timely fashion? As Grimes bumps with his man, gets it around to Berriman. Chipped up the far wing and out to the neutral zone as they then reverse D to D. Francesco Leteri. Picked off by Berriman as he'll bank it in. Partridge comes out of the crease as UCC. Chip it to the line. Berriman holds, tried to play it up the wall. As down low for it will be Selby. Selby plays it off the wall around the near side for Noble. Pinching in on that near boards. LA keeping control of the puck. Possession time going to be their friend here in the late stages. Lee dangles around the first man. Lee cuts hard to the middle. Left side, drops it back. Tipped, shot just wide as Hall got a piece of it, but it was deflected. They'll chip it off of the boards. Coming out, left wing side. Here's the shot from the line. Blocked. Good work by Sioux. As Sioux, that one stung. They make it to the bench, but just barely. Rister wide of the goal. And the follow-up tipped out of the netting and up and out of play. Down to 3:04 in this penultimate period of regulation. Of course, we still have the opportunity for extra time and a skills competition, depending on how the dominoes fall. And the rules for extra time are 3-on-3 for 5 minutes. If that doesn't solve anything, we go to the skills competition. LA still with one to try and put back up on the board if they want to take it there. Down low, Thomason into the forecheck, comes together with Jack. Far side corner, tried to send it to the middle, paddled away. UCC, out they go. Ethan Andre, long shot in on Zavaleta, rebound goes to King. He'll play it off of the boards as Fabian chipped it off the wall, played it to the center. Thomason, Kim to the middle, a wrister paddled away by Partridge. Players go tumbling down like dominoes as they try and dig out that loose puck. UCC chip it out to the neutral zone. Back for it is King. Down to 2:16 remaining. You got to wonder if and when Zavaleta is going to start making his way towards the bench. Selby in his own zone. Lee leading the forecheck. Nearly able to break it up. It comes back out to King. Pass to Hall. In on goal, dumps it off the netminder. Zavaleta still firmly in the crease right now. Left wing side, tip towards the goal. Hall, wraparound attempt, and it's denied by Partridge. Left wing side, takes the shot through traffic, was blocked, never made it through. Puck comes out the other direction, back for it first will be Berriman. Berriman in his own zone, feeds it across right wing. Grimes going to join the rush. Right wing side over the line. Here's the shot by Spano, goes wide. In behind, out the near side. To the line for Lee. Slap pass across to Berriman. Down to 1:17 left here. They try and chip it through. No dice on the play. Is that one knocked away? And Zavaleta still has not made his way towards the bench. Backhander will come to the far side corner. Tried to send it through. As LA still have not sent for their netminder to go to the bench. He's still there, and they've been in the offensive zone for the better part of 40 seconds. As they'll play it, as Lee waiting, passes through to Hall, left side. Down to 47 seconds left here. Feeds it over right wing side. Back to the line is Lee. Lee shoots, that's deflected. Now we're down to 38 seconds left. Held in, no, it's knocked away, but that entire time they were in the offensive zone, Zavaleta was never called to the bench. Very interesting decision by the LA Junior Kings there. Icing waved off, down to 20 seconds left here. As UCC play it down ice, that will go the distance. 15 seconds left in this contest. And now will the Kings bring Zavaleta to the bench for the extra attacker? Or are they going to wait to see if they win the draw? Face off, going to be left wing side from our perspective. To the middle, a backhander stopped by Partridge. Cleared off of the boards, tipped at the line, held in by Grimes. Now he's going to make his way towards the bench. 5 seconds are left in this game. As they play it to the line and out, that will do it. UCC come away with a 5-4 victory here in their opening game for the U15 Elite Canadian Crown. As the Junior Kings come up just shy in the end, they respond after going down 3-0. They battle back, tie the game up, and then it was back and forth all in the third period. 4-3, 4-4, 5-4. But the Junior Kings take nothing away. A solid showcase here despite missing some manpower. Be exciting to see them back in force once all of their players are available. On the side of UCC, they weathered the early storm in that opening frame as the LA Junior Kings came out the gates hot. They controlled the opening frame. They had a lot of puck possession time. They knew exactly what they needed to try and go for in the early stages. But unfortunately, it was not enough in that opening frame. At the very tail end of it, the UCC side, Jack comes away with the shot off of the crossbar and in the buzzer beater. And then following it up with some more momentum, the Francesco Lettieri shot from the point, working its way through traffic. And then the follow-up in the third period to keep on going toe for toe despite the pushback from the Junior Kings. So we've got the player of the game presentations for both teams, and then following that, we'll have a very, very quick hello in the broadcast booth. And then that'll be it for this contest here this morning. We still got 3 more to go here today, live from Dale Fisher. So we'll see here. The player of the game selections have been submitted. So a member of our tournament committee will come on out to present. Heart and Hustle Award goes to Spano from the Kings. Heart and Hustle Award for UCC goes to Sue. Player of the game was Herman for LA. And it will be Rui Asal, the player of the game. 2 goals in this one for UCC. So again, with this tournament, they've introduced the Hustle and Heart Award as well. So like an energy player of the game, as well as the player of the game. So again, Spano and Herman on the side of LA, and then Sue as well as Asal on the side of UCC. So in the end, Upper Canada College comes away with the upper hand as they come away 5-4 victors here in this contest. As 45-30, your final shots on goal. And UCC will start off the tournament with a bang, coming away with the victory over the LA Junior Kings. Thank you very much for joining us for this opening contest here on Dale Fisher. Ian Wilson with the call on behalf of the wonderful broadcast crew of Trickshot Sports Production that does not miss. If you're sticking around with us, stay tuned. Do not change that dial. We have got another fantastic contest coming up in just a few. And if you aren't staying with us, well, have a fantastic rest of your day. Be safe, be well, and be the best version of yourself. And we'll talk to you very, very soon.